Hello, everyone, and welcome to Christian Warrior Talk on Patriot Crusader mission. I got to adjust some things here. There we were gone for a second. There we're that. And then we're
All
here.
of the buttons.
There we
There
go.
we go.
All right, we're back. There we
Hi, guys.
Hope you guys are having a good Monday because it's time to get some.
Monday. I'm trying to like. Come on, video. Let me like you. There we go.
Well,
all right.
There's one to balance up the hater. Bless your heart, hater.
Bless
The
your
fact
heart.
that you tune in just to give us a thumbs
We
down
will pray for
makes
you,
my
hater.
day. Thank you so much. Thank you. The fact that somebody has no life and comes on here just to give us the thumbs down. Well, maybe they actually watch and contribute to our minutes. And
Well, the
and then
thumbs
just hate
down
on
usually
us.
comes very quickly. So I don't think that there any chance is being given.
Yeah. So, anyways, gotta love them.
God bless you.
Yep.
So I'm
Oh,
Lauren, wife, mom, and really preggo tonight.
yeah.
Really preggo. Apparently, I
Yes.
have passed the point of no return, and belly is popping.
Yeah. Lauren is really showing.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know if you guys saw. Wait, one. All right, we got peeps on. Just no one's sounding off. Holy smokes.
Hello.
Come on,
Hello,
creepers.
hello.
Let us know who's here. But the video today that we put on Instagram, Lauren was in the gym at 7 a.m. That hasn't happened in a really long time.
Hi, Michelle.
There we go.
John.
Hey, what's up, John?
Welcome,
Hello,
welcome,
Michelle.
Welcome. Yeah. It felt good to move. I mean, I walk every day, so I'm not like stagnant, but I've missed doing more activity. My body misses it. And I was pleased that I could haul this pregnant belly around the way for the extent that I did.
Hey,
Hi,
Steve. Congratulations on your daughter's wedding. I hope it all went smooth. I'm sure everyone gave great toasts.
Yeah.
Unlike our wedding, which had the worst toast ever.
We don't need to get into that. Special day.
Yeah. My best man.
That we will remember.
My best man crushed it, and your sister did a good job.
She did. She did great.
That leaves just
okay. Yep. Steve, I hope that you had a fantastic time. Did you do a speech? Thank you. Everything could not have gone better. Awesome. Hi, Claudia.
Happy Monday. All right, for aces, you know what question's next? Have you found a house yet?
I'm going to think that's a no. Mary Jo.
Mary Jo, what up?
Got our people coming on.
All right. So I am glad. Let's get into the topic of the day, which if you watch Tucker Carlson, we've been calling the military broke for a very long time, or I have been calling the military broke for a very long time, and I'm glad that Tucker Carlson and the rest have caught up. Our officer corps is terrible. Mm-hmm. Terrible, corrupt, and terrible. Not all of them. There are always some good, but on a whole, our senior military officers are political hacks, and they suck. Like I said, it takes a special kind of suck to lose wars that you have a better trained military, right? The best military in the world with the best technology in the world, and you still lose. Yeah.
So, I mean, he's done, and it's been on news stories who care to cover it, multiple times over the last couple of months about the wokeness and, all of the training that they're going through.
China's training to kill us, and we're training people how to be more sensitive.
This was pre the most updated jab requirement, about West Point and things like that. But so tonight's update was that the military as a whole is going to be kind of following through on this requirement, but they are going after essentially the Navy SEALs. kind of
Yep.
first and hardest with the deadline that they are
I
getting.
mean, if you work for China, you might as well wipe out your most elite units.
And yeah, it's just very interesting. Tucker's point was this is the one that's exclusively male, and
Predominantly white.
yeah, and I mean, you can guess generally the way that they vote, and so it's just an interesting for that the Navy SEALs to be kind of the first that is really getting the heat on this. And I mean, I can't imagine that he's like a bunch of them have natural immunity that does not matter in this instance. And so a lot of them have lawyered up and are fighting it. But I mean, we know people personally, a lot of people who are still in. And as you've said, you have millions and millions and millions of dollars of training. And for the military to be willing to literally throw that all out because someone is going to stand up for their rights just boggles my mind.
Yeah. But you know what? This is what happens when you trust Democrats with anything. I mean, this is decades of liberal wokeness weaving its way throughout our society, destroying our society. And the last to fall was the military. And it's been going down for a long, long time.
I'll be right back.
And now it's here. Baby B's blowing up on us right now.
Unusual.
So, no Santa PJs either. Those are just regular plaid ones. What's up with that? Well, it's Monday, I guess. Well, which one was no longer available? Oh, well, the reason why YouTube probably pulled down Tucker was that he talked about he did a really big special on ways to treat the bug that they don't want you to do. They cited a lot of studies. I can't say the word or else we'll be pulled down, but it rhymes with, let's see. Lectin. So there you go. But they are, he talked a lot about treatment options, had a doctor on there, and that's, yeah, Michelle, we're trying. I mean, I don't think they care in the chat, but I can't say it because then we'll get banned. So, I think it's a good thing. It's up to every individual one. I would, but that's me. So, anyways, the military being totally destroyed. It's not totally destroyed, but it's corrupted beyond, it's like the FBI and all the 3-letter agencies. They're totally rotten to the core, and it's going to take a deep purge to figure that out. And our only hope for that is the 2022 elections, guys. Taking back the Senate and the House and being able to investigate. That is the key. It's the key to everything right now. And, I see there's a lot of people out there. I'm part of a lot of groups, and everyone's all wants to do something. They want to go to DC to protest. They want to go do all these other things. And those things don't work unless you show up in massive numbers and do horrible things like BLM. The way you make progress here, the way I recommend you make progress is if you live in a red state, you go and you get in front, you find out where your reps live, and you camp out right in front of their house on the sidewalk, and you take it to them, and you rotate people there to make their life difficult until they get you the result that you want. They are elected but to be, to serve the people, and therefore they need to serve the people, and by going out in front of their place and letting them know that you're not happy, that's what's really important. That's what's going to be most effective. Mm-hmm. Because if you just write letters and phone calls, well, those are all important, but that's just making some volunteer help have a bad day.
Yeah, when they swamp the offices and stuff.
Yeah, they call the office and they send them emails, and he's just going to get to the point and do that.
Were you talking at all about the DC rally, or was this just
Well, the
general
DC rally,
protests?
everyone's saying there were more feds there than anything
Yeah,
else.
said that it was a
And
big
they got
old
all
flip-flop.
those stupid memes out there of a bunch of obvious FBI guys out there and secret,
Yeah.
feds pretending to be Trump supporters very poorly.
Yeah, they can't.
So
Can't pull it off.
yeah.
But yeah, I know. I saw that it had been extremely hyped up about the disgraceful supporters who were coming to rally for all of the terrible people who were in jail, and deservedly so. Security, 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 and then like nobody showed up.
Well, I don't blame them. You can't show up unless you're going to show up in such large numbers that you overwhelm them.
It sounds like it just wasn't getting any support from kind of any capacity.
Well, who's going to go? Who's going to want to go and spend? I mean, those people are still in isolation. Literally, like they're the highest threat in the entire world. Hannibal, they're being treated like Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
And the fact that all the Republicans, are not out there screaming about this every single minute of every single day tells you where we're at.
Oh,
if I had made bad decisions, or not even bad decisions,
you and your partner of the day, he's on here.
If me and Paul
been there a little longer,
haven't decided, if Paul and I hadn't decided to bail early, we might have been in the same mess.
Mm-hmm. I am so grateful. I was so grateful that I got that call that you were on your way home. And this was prior to kind of all of the big stuff breaking.
Yeah. So we were already, I can't remember how we were past Tyson's Corner when all this stuff started breaking.
Yeah.
So, and of course, the world was ending.
Yeah.
And all I told people was, let's hear the whole story.
Yep.
Let's take our time and figure this out before we report garbage, which is what they needed to do, which is what they did to get momentum to get Trump to quit.
Yeah, Michelle, we're not ignoring all your comments here.
I explained it earlier. We can't talk about it, or else we'll be banned. They already pulled Tucker off of YouTube.
Did they?
Yep. Paul was watching and they pulled the episode down.
Okay, yeah.
So
it's great that he's addressing it. I don't know if anyone's gotten a chance to watch the Project Veritas video yet.
Yeah, I have not. I would have liked to have seen them on there.
It's like 8:30. So we'll try to watch it after this and see what they came up with, because they certainly hyped it up a lot. So hopefully it lives up to it.
Well, I just, I'm just thinking about the military and those guys that are in there. It's bad.
What a heartbreaking decision. I mean, it's like, it's hard enough for people in the average workforce. You feel horrible we know a lot of people who are having to make that decision, be fired or take it. And that it's just to have gone through the extent that these people go through in the military, especially to get in the teams, and to be faced with that decision of to literally let it all go for your personal standards.
Yeah. They're going to try to say, well, you risk your life every day, take the stupid shot, is what they're going to say.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see how many.
You're ready to go die for your country, but why not now for this?
Yeah.
Like that does anything.
Do you read anything into that argument?
I don't. And the fact that they're all, the teams are probably 95.7% conservative means that none of them want to take it.
Well, the biggest thing being that a lot of them have already had it.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they all probably had it, and they're all in really good shape, and it's not a problem.
Right. So it's just an unnecessary purging.
So John said, I believe that many are waiting for Patriot high-level command to organize something. Yeah, I don't know who our leader is, bro. Right? I mean, that's the problem right now, is that there is no one stepping from, I don't know who I would trust for it right now.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't. I mean, I know who I want for president. I want Rand Paul for president right now more than anybody.
Right.
Would I love Donald Trump as president? Yes, but I would like Rand Paul more.
Because you think that Trump's time the ship has sailed.
I just think that Trump is awesome. I think that it's too easy for the media and everyone to paint him something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas it will just tear the country in half again, which I don't care. Right? I mean, it's torn in half now, except we're just getting our butt kicked, and Trump would push back hard. But I mean, I don't know. I've never seen Rand Paul with power, but he is all about limiting power, and I think he would go back to neutering the presidency, which is what it should be. The Congress and the Senate outsourced all their power to the president. So to do everything with executive orders and all this other stuff, so that one person shared the blame and they didn't have to vote on anything anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see him do that.
Also, in large part because there's just constant stagnation. They can't get anything through.
Well, look at what happens when they do get something through. It's pretty terrible. Yeah. Like, it's better to do nothing than to have them do anything.
That's the truth.
I mean, there's so much special interest. It's so corrupted. Like, you could have the cure for cancer, right? They could literally have the cure for cancer, and they would pack it full of something else, so much other stuff that it would guarantee you get brain cancer, guarantee cardiovascular disease and bone cancer on top of it, and stomach cancer by curing this one thing. That's how bad the government is with their well-intentioned things that they try that blow up and go terribly wrong.
It's well-intentioned is generous.
Well, on its face.
Yeah.
Immigrants are great.
Yeah.
Case in point. College should be free. Who doesn't want college to be free for everyone? Who doesn't want everyone to have puppies?
Puppies for everybody.
It's just stupidity. But hey, that's our high-level education system. Our universities and college professors pumping it out. You want to see what academics do when they're in power? Look at Afghanistan. That's what happens when you have a bunch of Harvard grads doing stuff that have no idea what they're talking about. But the classroom said this was going to happen.
Hey, Ray.
Hey, Ray, good to see you.
So John says Trump is coming back like a storm. He still has many, many loyal followers. He certainly does. He can certainly pack a rally.
Again, I would be happy with Trump. I just think Rand Paul's the best.
He's dropping all the hints that it's going to happen. So
the stuff that I've seen Rand Paul do, he's been the most consistent politician for the last 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he's point blank. He's a doctor. He's an eye surgeon. Yeah. What better thing to deal with this COVID stuff? He could take Fauci and strangle him and throw him out of the freaking room.
Yeah, well, I mean, so let's see. We have 3 more years before this is a relevant conversation. We'll see if that's still necessary.
Mm-hmm. Paul, I don't. Who wouldn't? The people who have paid off their student loans. You're right. I think that's ridiculous. I think if you go to school, you have to do it. If you were stupid and you took ancient, pygmy art, as your master's degree, you have a PhD in pygmy art. I don't know what you're gonna do for a job.
They always get surprised when they're not offered one.
Yeah, like, why? Come on. I have a PhD in women's studies. I mean, there's got to be something I can do with this that makes a lot of money, right? Yeah, you're a community organizer. Have fun.
I'm sure it was worth it.
Yeah.
Those college years.
Man. Just, it's easy to see why people tune out the news because of how rough things are getting. But it doesn't break down what we have to do. Mm-hmm. We just have to do the next right thing. And for most of you, that next right thing is getting out of your own darn way and moving down to a red state.
Does this sound familiar, guys?
Yeah, I'm going to harp on this every show. If you're up there in blue crazy land, the only wait till they find you. Like right now, they have no reason, right? But once the laws start coming down and the mandatory, jab and the, you know, firearm confiscation and everything else, your property values are going to tank, right? Let me tell you, I went to Sam's this weekend and I freaked myself out. I went to Sam's and the shelves, there was a lot of empty shelves and prices were through the roof. We got something bad, and there's nothing even going on right now.
Yeah.
There's bad stuff coming, people. Like all I'm doing right now is getting ammo and I'm trying to buy like renewable food sources like, chickens and eggs. Fast track and getting the chickens and the eggs and trying to grow stuff here because I'm not sure what's going to happen with the food chain.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've
I mean,
seen,
our
meat
grocery bill's
selection's
quadrupled.
It's definitely gone up. It's definitely painful.
It used to be
I'm sure you
300
guys-
and you would roll your eyes at me. We have grocery bills now that are $1,000.
Well, that's when he goes to Sam's and stocks up on everything. And we don't spend that every week. Holy smokes. But yeah, ouch.
You're telling me we don't spend $500-$600 now?
We have some big grocery bills. And
we're gluten-free,
absolutely-
grass-fed, organic, like ridiculous across the board. Literally the most expensive stuff you can buy. And it's
gone up. It's absolutely gone up.
Like if we go back to eating Twinkies and and Coke, would be great.
Yeah. Michelle,
pink slime.
So you're a canner, Michelle. So that's a good skill to have. We have canning like a station downstairs.
Yeah, we have a built-in station with like a wood burning stove, like a wood powered
You might need
stove.
to give us some canning lessons, Michelle. So Paul, you're seeing the same thing at Food Line that is empty. Yeah, and I don't know if
scary,
people
man.
are.
There wasn't any hoarding. I didn't see anyone with like full carts because they can't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I put stuff back.
You know it's bad.
John, I just don't think they're going to let him win, bro. I don't think they're going to let him win. And that's the problem. Mm-hmm. So, we can all hope it, and maybe he does. But I think they control enough of the election laws, and now we're dragging this COVID out because he scares the crap out of them. Because if he comes in, he's coming back like, whoa. There won't be a bunch of generals that he trusts that throw him under the bus. It'll basically be his family and everybody's proved their loyalty. It'll come in here and a clean house. And a part of me wants that. Mm-hmm. We're going to go back to an all militant, an all militant press corps against him. All your family members will be back to freaking out. And I don't even like. What is blanched six-pack? Like, what does blanched means? I always thought that was like crush.
No, blanched is like when you
cover them in wax.
Pre-cook them.
No, okay.
And
is that like flash boil them?
Yeah, that's my understanding of blanched.
So
Michelle, professional canner, you can correct us.
Yeah, I mean, we got to learn this stuff. I don't try to act like guys. I'm not going to pretend to know something I don't know. Yeah, expensive and shelves not full. There's bad stuff coming. And I'm sitting there and I'm like going around in circles. What do I do? Do I hoard money that's going to be worth nothing? Or do I buy stuff that I know that we're going to need now where my money is worth more than it's going to be and flash boil?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit of both. And I think it's certainly refining what you are spending money on. Even if you do have to spend the money versus holding on to it because it's not going to be worth anything, it's making sure you're doing it on stuff that's necessary versus desired.
So
which is a lesson for all of us.
I'm glad we're doing our, these classes that we're doing because as society continues goes down, like even the Fed said we're heading into a recession or whatever. That news came out, was on the Epoch, whatever, Times saying that they're warning that Imagine that. Democrats put us in another recession. Great.
And now they're all upset that their new
$3.5 trillion thing didn't go through.
It's ridiculous. It's truly disgusting. I don't know. I would like to think that even if Trump ran and managed to win, that there would be some people who'd be like, "Oh, thank goodness he's back." That whole the lesser of two evils saying, even if they still called it that, I think that there would be people who secretly or out in public would be very happy that he'd be back, who prior would have not wanted him there.
Yeah, I mean, I love the guy.
All the people with buyer's remorse right now.
I mean, I love the guy, and I want a fearless leader who would do the right thing. I think Rand Paul will do that.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't come with any of the baggage of Trump. Do I think he can be as effective? I don't know.
He's certainly not the personality, and the personality is...
Well, the personality is what got Trump in trouble.
Up. But it also
it's
largely what got him elected, too.
Right, but it's why he's so easily dismissed.
Yeah.
Like, your parents can't watch Tucker Carlson because he's snarky. Right? I mean, and I love it when he's snarky most of the time. But I just know then it is what it is.
Hey, Brian. All right.
You want to read that Old English? New King James Version, brother. Hook us up or ESV.
You really want me to read that?
Yeah, go for it.
Habakkuk. How do I pronounce that, Pastor Perry?
You just did a great job.
Habakkuk. 1:4. Therefore the law is slacked, and judgment doth never go forth. For the wicked doth compass about the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceedeth. Man had his chance. Is that the summary of it? Man had his chance.
Well, I'm just saying that I'm not a quitter, and we gotta, we're called by the Bible to fight to the end. It's not about not fighting. We have to. I mean, I'm telling you, there have been darker times in this. The Great Depression was way worse than what we're facing right now.
Where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Do you think we could get there?
We could easily get there.
So I mean,
but we're not there yet, and we've come back from that.
Yeah.
The worst part is we know what to do. They just, unfortunately, our enemies control our government. China controls our country. 100%. Period. I mean, it's disgusting. And we're all problems. If you go to the store and you pick up something that says made in China and you don't try to find another option, you're part of the problem.
Mm. You're ancient. That's why you like the King James.
Yeah.
How the New King James?
It's plain English.
Is okay. So what is it? It's the same
words.
Translation, just without the doths and the.
With modern English.
Okay.
Whereas the ESV will be different in translation.
Word choice. Yeah.
Some of the stuff is exact, and others not so much. So we know what we have to do. One foot in front of the other. The next step. It's not sexy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not sexy. Yeah, and judgment's been coming. I mean, every one of Jesus' disciples thought they were going to see him when he, that it was coming the next day.
Yeah.
Like he could show up at any moment.
Well, I know that some people, kind of in taking in context and timelines, and
it's been 2,000 years, peeps.
What Ken has some like math equation or whatever that he believes we're actually coming to the end of the. I can't remember what the seventh something, or that's like each one is a certain amount of thousands of years or something that I can't articulate it well, but there are people who are not just saying, based on the circumstances that we're in, I think it's the end of times. It's that there's actually they believe that numbers have indicated it.
Yeah, well, and it's very well possible.
Mm-hmm.
But the world was also going to end on Y2K.
Well, that was a man-made. That was a
No, the Bible. Everyone's like, yeah, 2,000 years, blah 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 blah.
Okay, so
There was a lot.
I was definitely
There has
not
been people.
thinking
Yeah,
Christian then.
there's been a lot of people calling for the doom of the world every day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure the Jews thought the end of the world was coming in World War II.
That's understandable.
So, if you read any of the old pastors, like you read these books that I have over here from the 1800s,
Yeah, have you cracked that yet?
they're dealing with the same stuff that we're dealing with now, just not as bad. Like it might have seemed how corruption was
Different
there.
problems and
Well, different problems with dealing with man's corruption,
Yeah.
and let's look at the revolution. People wanted to throw in with France. People that were loyalists to England.
yeah.
There was all these. I mean, Benedict Arnold, who was a war hero,
Worldly
betrayed
drama
us.
goes in cycles, and we're back in the
We're back in cycles.
throes of the drama. Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, Methodists would kill Baptists, and Baptists would kill Methodists. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Mhm.
When they agree on like 95% of the Bible or 10% of the Bible,
Ridiculous.
90-10.
So, guys, we were watching the show Nightfall,
Oh,
and we
so
thought we
bad.
would recommend it the first couple episodes.
Yeah. The first
Don't waste
season
your
was okay. There were some episodes that were
It's about
epic.
the
It's about
Crusaders.
it's about the Crusades, and it's about the Holy Grail and the Knights Templar and all that stuff.
It's gotten
And then it's
cheesy.
gotten like it's the
Cliche,
worst
cliche,
soap opera
cliche.
ever. Like we're literally saying she's going to do this, he's going to do that. Oh, what a surprise! She did this, he did that.
So don't waste your time. It's only 3 seasons.
Don't
and
even
we cannot
start
see
it.
Why?
Don't even start it. It's not worth it. It was cool to see them fighting in all their, Crusader gear, though. I will say that. But you could just go watch the highlight battle scenes on YouTube and save yourself all the bad dialogue and terrible acting. Like that Yelly did last night, was so bad.
Do what you're doing like you're Jonah.
You want to explain that to me? Didn't Jonah defy God and try to take off and then got swallowed because he was trying to outrun God?
Do you want to talk at all about what your morning video was on today?
I don't even remember what was my morning video on this morning.
You talked about
why don't you talk
finding
about
your
my
identity in God versus all of these girls, these studies that have come out about social media impact on body image and teenage girls depressed and all of that stuff. And
let's do this. So what was that documentary, The Social Experiment? Mm-hmm. So the whistleblower from The Social Experiment was on Fox commenting about a new study that Facebook, i.e. and Instagram, know that they are harming teenage girls.
Yep.
Like they know that they are destroying them. Suicides are up. It's terrible for their mental health. They know this, and they are preying upon that and driving through no matter what, people's second. And, he had all these ideas that were totally secular ideas on how to fix this. And it's the same. Yeah. And it's like he may be genius, invented the thumbs up button or whatever, but he doesn't understand human soul. Mm-hmm. There's only one way to combat that, as well as the boys who, they go and they're told they're going to be football players or baseball players or hockey players, and then they don't make the pros, and that's over. And now they're totally destroyed, and they turn to alcohol and destructive behaviors, and they're basically losers the rest of their life. Or the guy who, was, accomplished, successful. He's married, midlife crisis. The wife is, forgets the marriage is the most important thing. He forgets the marriage is important, doesn't lead his family appropriately. And now he's looking for happiness elsewhere. Midlife crisis, goes out, buys a big boat, thinking that's going to fix it. Doesn't. Buys something else. Doesn't. Buy something. All midlife. There's one thing that fixes all these things, and it's discipling yourself and your children and your family to Jesus Christ as soon as possible. And that is the ultimate defense against all of this world's crap.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I think if you can get your children to truly
Jonah was killed by God and brought back to life to do that. I know that I'm all in a small section of people where we believe that he was dead and he was actually in Sheol, like Jesus said, and Jesus said, used the same exact words. So God, killed him and then had him vomited back up on the earth, and was like sitting there half digested preaching to ISIS, and he didn't want them to be saved, Brian. He did not want them to be saved. God had to rip into him because, he had more love for the animals than these people. Who does that sound like? All the crazy dog ladies in the world who think their dogs are better than people when they're
reformed. I'm reformed.
Yeah, I know you are.
I think a lot of people
like
don't
everyone's
really
freaking out
understand all
about
the
these
ins and outs
service
of the
dogs left
Jonah.
behind. I'm sad the service dogs were left behind, but I'm more sad about the girls getting gang raped
That
and the
really
people
struck
being.
me. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's a
Like, how
pivot on what we were
stupid.
talking about, but I remember. I mean, it seems like so long ago now. I mean, just what, a couple weeks ago that all of this Afghanistan stuff was really front and center, and yeah, the dog story broke, and it was really sad to see how many people were like
Freaked out over the dogs instead of the
this is what
humans.
does it for me. This is the final straw, and it's just and just not that same level of response for the human suffering that was happening and is going to continue to happen versus these
12-year-old girls
dogs.
getting gang raped.
And people say, dogs are innocent, they don't deserve it, they have no control, and it's like neither do kids. Neither do the kids. And I mean, I absolutely would have been that dog person making that comment before.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. I'm trying to fight off a sneeze, so.
Bless you.
So yeah, I mean, look at every.
B will sneeze now. She'll go, "Bless you, B."
Yeah.
Bless you, B.
I mean, but that's proof that dog people are shattered beyond belief, because they don't see the value in human life and the difference. Now, I like critters more than most. I like critters more than most.
Christians.
I don't hunt. I like critters. When I see a deer, I'm not like, kill it, eat it. If I like deer, maybe I did, but I don't. I respect that people do that, and I would use them for food if I needed to, but I'm not like one of those guys who has to see a wild animal and kill it and put it on my wall.
Life is totally different than where you rank value and where you get emotionally invested.
Right.
And I think people are very.
It's first world garbage.
Yeah, it truly is.
It truly is first world garbage that you haven't seen what suffering truly is if you value animals over people. Because, I mean, we were watching videos from Haiti where they had those goats tied on the side of the truck. Yeah. Horrible, massive, abused animals. That breaks my heart.
Yes.
And those people are savages that were doing that. And I'd like to do some justice on them, even though they're goats. I've killed goats. I've trained on goats. Mm-hmm. Right? I hated hurting every one of them.
But at the same time, I mean, could you take this same lesson and talk about? I mean, so if we value human life more than animals, yes, what they were doing to those animals was, by our standards, abuse.
But the difference between what they were doing with those dogs and what they're doing with the people is, those dogs were in cages and they probably shot them, cooked them, eat them, whatever, right?
In
Afghanistan versus, mutilating a man's family in front of them and then torturing him to death.
Comparison. I mean, yeah, I know. I heard like with the bomb sniffing dogs and things like they were cutting their noses off and stuff like that.
Dang, they brought bigger guns this time. Deep State is out tonight. What do you mean? Can you hook me up there, Brian? Can you tell me what you mean?
Yeah. That's
unless
crazy.
he's talking about Tucker getting taken off.
I don't know.
So there's, again, I was participating in a group today, and everyone was up in arms. We got to do something, blah 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 blah, and then it always just turns into complaining, and with a lot of tough talk, and then nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, there's a real easy way to do this. We organize, as many of us as we can, at least 20, and we rotate, 4 or 5 shifts of guys around the clock on their property
Mm-hmm.
with a bullhorn out front
Mm-hmm.
until they do what we want them to.
And so that would be going to local government, you're saying?
Yeah, go into your local government, go into your local senator, go into your local house of congressman,
Yeah.
and say, I want the people on January 6th freed. I'm going to be here every day until they're done. We're going to be here every
so
day
this is
until
back
it's
to
done.
that
I'm just
topic
choosing
again.
that as one example.
Okay.
Like, bring me some results.
Mm-hmm.
Bring the trial, get him out here, get him a press conference, get him lawyers, whatever it takes. You need to do that, or we're going to be here.
And are you so go to your conservative representatives?
Yeah.
Because they're sitting on their butts too.
They're sitting on their butts, and you have a Republican governor and a Republican attorney general and a Republican people there who, they will have your back.
Mm-hmm.
They should, or guess what? You get to rally against them and vote another one in.
Yeah.
Right? So, school board, they won't hear you. They won't let you speak. Start going to their house.
Yep.
You show up at their house, you make them uncomfortable. They're going to let you speak in a public forum because they don't want to hear it in their living room or in their bedroom at 2:00 at night when you're shouting with bullhorns. And trust me, the neighbors will be telling them, you better damn move.
Never mind, just a drive-by. Okay. So something going on in your neck of the woods.
Yeah.
All right. Hope you're safe. Did you see the stuff that was coming out with all of the essentially underage porn kind of stuff that was happening in some of the classroom education?
No, I saw some governor stepped in or mayor stepped in.
Mayor stepped in. Yeah. So I think it happened in several places, and I think it's just a rattle your cage as a parent to double check on curriculum, especially as you get into the high school level. There have been multiple instances where there was, and they're trying to articulate that they weren't required assignments, but like college level offerings kind of in a high school setting, but college level courses, but that they were like optional or kind of pick and choose kind of thing. But some of these prompts were asking these
I saw the papers to write about.
Yeah, I mean, so one was a series of writing prompts, and that was the one that the mayor got involved on and told the entire school board to resign. So good on that official to step in on that. But the parents certainly got loud, but they needed the backing of the mayor to do that.
Right. Guess what? That wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen in a blue state.
That can be.
But it wouldn't happen in a blue state because the teachers union would say, we got you elected. You're going to do what we say.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why living in a blue state is stupidity right now.
Yeah.
Go make a difference. You don't make any difference there. Go make a difference in a red state, make it more red, or take a state that's barely red and make it deep red, or go to a battleground state and make a difference. But being in a state that's so hopelessly blue does nothing.
Can't remember, was it Ohio? Well, can't remember what state that was. But I mean, it was good to see that something came out of it. But I've seen several examples of parents going to school boards with what these kids are being taught. Another one was about it was a book that the high schooler was supposed to read about like 4th graders or 6th graders or something like that having like homosexual relations and just like everything about this. So I mean, it was like very, very underage, plus the homosexual component. But just very, very graphic descriptions of what these kids were doing with each other, and a ton of profane language and all this stuff. And it's just
Brian,
like,
I've
this was
been
a
there
high
with
school
you, and
setting.
I've risked my lives daily. I get it. I'm just saying, do it somewhere where it matters. It's the same reason why I got out of the military to go be a cop, because I was tired of making sandboxes safer. And my brother, died to heroin, and all of his friends died to heroin. I would not say PA is hopelessly blue. You guys are like the weird. You guys are like, a weird paradox. Every time I think you're going to be red, like I think in that election you were very red,
Yeah.
and I think that your post office basically stole the election. And you're blue. They totally violated all the laws of the state constitution. We violated our own constitution, and no one's doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because they've appointed Democrats in power everywhere. This is what one party rule looks like.
So that whole Lindell thing died symposium. Have you heard anything?
I haven't heard
on that?
anything or any follow up on any of that.
That's a shame.
Not
a surprise, but a shame.
No, I like I said, I never saw a step 2 to that.
Yeah. Do all you can do to stand, then stand some more.
I agree.
Yep. Philly and Pittsburgh and Governor Wolf are the problem in PA.
Yeah, well, we all have those. We have Memphis and Nashville here,
Mm-hmm.
but the difference is we're so red now. Pennsylvania was one of the states that we were entertaining moving to
years ago, yeah.
before COVID hit.
Yeah.
And before the
Before
last election, this last election, we had to look and see,
really narrowed it down
to like 4 states.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah, I'm not tracking.
Trying to hold the line in PA, but I'm thinking of retreating. Yes, please. Retreating to Tennessee. Do it.
Yeah, I would love to have you here in Tennessee if if the three state solution, the West Coast, the East Coast, and the South Coast, happens, I don't know where PA is going to go. They could connect to Ohio if Ohio was red enough.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're getting a glimpse at kind of what it would look like based on the 18 states that voiced opposition to the jab mandate.
Yep.
And I was looking at that map, and there are a few.
I think Ohio
that are in trouble, just as far as they are isolated. They were in support, but they were isolated from being kind of fully connected to any other groupings of states, that if like a secession happened, they had a significant kind of blue.
Yes, you do. We the people. You definitely want to be on the right of the right side of the Mason-Dixon line when this goes. Mm-hmm. And when it goes, it's going to be fast. I mean, I think we have at least to 2022, probably to 2024 to figure this out. But at some point, if we're going to have alternate realities, if the left thinks we're crazy,
yeah,
like they think we're crazy, we know they're crazy, and there's no middle ground anymore. Yeah, I can see that. I would have went to New York too. I mean, from New York to PA too. I think that would have been a great blend. I mean, when you go down 81, it's all the same. It just gets varying degrees of cold as you go south.
Mm-hmm.
Right, it gets warmer as you go south along 81. It's the same exact terrain from Canada down.
Largely, yeah. I mean, because it tracks the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to pull up that map.
The 18 state map.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
Of course, it's not coming up on Google.
It's just good because I'm bumping into more and more people here every day and being affirmed that people feel like us and, you know, and they want to be prepared. I mean, we're in a prepper heavy state. West Virginia is a prepper heavy state. You
Mhm.
know, Montana's a prepper heavy state.
Mhm.
Wyoming's a, for the few people who are there, it's a prepper heavy state. You stay blue, you're going to be the nail that's sticking up that gets hammered.
I'm not gonna be able to find this quickly.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Don't worry about
yeah.
it. We can show it next time.
Leave you hanging.
But what does it all mean to us? It means what we've been talking about this whole time. Just do the next right thing. Fix the men, that fixes the families, that fixes the churches, that fixes the communities, that fixes the cities, that fixes the states, that fixes the country, that fixes the world. That's how it's got to go, which is why I get so frustrated with pastors who spend all their time, money, and resources on missionary stuff
Skipping
outside of the
to the last
U.S.
step, fixing the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
He
care
doesn't
about
care
sports
either.
at all. I used to be a big sports fan. I could care less. I'm ashamed that I ever even cared 1 second about it. None of them know my name. None of them know my problems. None of them care about me. None of them worry about what's happening with my life or whether I get cancer or COVID or my daughter or the one that's on the way. But God does. And my Christian brothers do, who I invest in, and sisters that I invest in do. And I don't care what happens to Tom Brady anymore. I think he's a nice guy. He's a glass act, but I used to be, I freaking know what he had for lunch
Yep.
when he was 7 on Thanksgiving Day or the day before Thanksgiving. I mean, it was ridiculous.
I'm grateful I came in at the tail end of that
Yeah.
obsession.
Well, I'm grateful that you dropped Dog Crazy.
Yeah. See, we can all reform.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's hope for all of us.
Jesus fixes all those things.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's. I mean, the people who still say, kind of leave sports alone. It's nice to have, be able to not think about anything or worry about anything for a little while, and it's just kind of it's so misplaced.
Yeah.
Where they're putting that. Yes, we do need kind of turn off time, but to still be doing it on something like that is
Yeah, Mike, they do that
waste.
everywhere, brother. They do that everywhere. They destroy the states they're in, and then they move, and then they bring the same corruption and the same stupidity with them.
Yep.
And be like, this time we're going to do it right. We've only destroyed everything we've ever touched.
Serious intel on what's coming.
You guys have the right idea. Gas on it. Well, trust me, brother. It was not easy for us to move to Tennessee. I mean, we had just lost $20,000 moving to Maine and back.
Yeah. I don't need to talk about that.
And it came with a very high personal cost, extremely high personal cost. We had to decide: do we spend time with family that basically hates us?
Does not agree with us.
Yeah, where we can sit around. Hate our ideas and hate what we believe and hate everything, but they like our names.
They love us.
Yeah,
they don't like how we are living our lives.
Yeah, so they hate our identity, but I don't know. Anyways, or go find more, risk it all, buy a house unseen to find people more like us. And it was the third best decision of my life. God, Lauren, moving to Tennessee. Period. It's not even close.
Kiddos are wrapped up in there somewhere. God, family.
God made all that happen.
Yeah.
So
Doing your own sports
it's
is
probably
your downtime.
downtime.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I think it's sad that people don't view time with their family and the stuff that really matters as that recharge time. It's they have to tune out and go into that alternate world.
Well, it's escaping your life. I mean, I was a primary, I was in a miserable marriage, and I could escape if I could just think about statistics and football and players and fantasy football
And
and
it's socially
hockey.
acceptable.
It's socially acceptable. I could totally ghost and do whatever I wanted, and I didn't have to face my life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what sports are for far too many people.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I mean, they
minimum, it takes Sunday away
idolize
from the Lord.
they idolize sports figures. False idol. It's in the word. Just like American Idol, just like Hollywood and rappers and singers and musicians. The fact that we put these people on a pedestal, we should not. They're all sinners just like
That would
us.
make a good sermon for you, Pastor Perry.
Yeah.
False idols one.
Well, the hardest one to get over is the idol of self.
Yeah. Well, I know that your most recent one was Idol of Country.
Yep.
Which I think, as a veteran and stuff, I think it's probably very hard to make that observation.
Well, my country was my God for a very long time.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have anything else. I was raised atheist.
Right.
So, America was the shining, brightest light
then you devoted
that ever
your life
was.
to it.
Devoted my life to it, sacrificed my body for it, my health. And to know that was all corrupt at its core. And I look back and see things totally different now.
Mm-hmm.
I still love the guys. Still believe in fighting wars. Just
not right now.
Yep.
Yeah. Not this one anyways.
So the last thing that we want to talk about is something I want to review from and it's a common theme that we talk about here. Modern churchianity is, and I was just talking to a friend of ours who's a Calvinist who is, he's a strong Christian, but he's had a very good life, he's had a great life. But he's had challenges, really, really hardcore challenges too. And people just want to focus on the love of the Father. Mm-hmm. Every song is about the love of the Father.
Yes.
Yep. He's sitting there, arms open wide, blah, 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 blah. All that stuff. There
aren't really any Christian songs out there about that narrow gate.
No. And there needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
And, and everyone says God is love. Yes, that is one of his properties. Mm-hmm. But, hey, Diana. Wow, welcome back to the show.
Checking in as we're checking out.
Yeah. Miss you. Hope that
Can you kick your parents in the butt and get them to come on down here faster?
Yeah. So let me finish this thought before I get distracted by a bunch of things because it's fleeting. It's gone.
God is holy.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. God is many things, but the first thing he is holy. In order to have access to God and to get into heaven, you have to be holy. There's only one way to get holy, and that's through Jesus. So God can love you, and none of it matters. You're going to burn in hell for eternity if you don't get holy. Mm-hmm. Right? Let that sink in. Right? The God of this Bible, right, is not the God that they sing about on Sunday. They think they're singing about him. But this guy wiped out every living thing on the planet. Mm-hmm. Like literally drowned every single thing on this planet except for a boat full of creatures and people.
Yep.
All right. This God had the Israelites march around a city 7 times and had the walls fall, and they killed every man, woman, and child except for a prostitute that snitched on her city, who was in Jesus' line.
Mm-hmm.
This God, commanded God to go there and kill men, women, and children and animals. All right. So that's the holy part. All right. So that is what most of this book is about. Like, that's like this part, like all the way up to probably right around. Let's see here. Nope. There. Look at that. Okay. This God incinerated Aaron's kids who were priests because they lit the wrong incense.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So please, please, please stop with the rainbow, unicorn, happy stuff. All right. Yes, Jesus is great. Yes, Jesus loves you. Yes, he died for you. But there are some things that you need to do, right? You need to believe in him, right? And that's what everyone says. Well, anyone who believes in him, well, if you believe in him, you're going to do what he says.
Right.
Right? You're going to take his threats real, and you're going to take his guidance real, and you're going to accept his gift. The devil believes in Jesus.
Right. And that's always a very powerful way to frame it.
The devil believes in Jesus, and he's not going to heaven.
Yeah. That in itself doesn't mean anything. Yeah.
Every dead person believes in Jesus.
Now.
Exactly.
Yep.
So make sure that you believe in Jesus. You ask for forgiveness. You receive that forgiveness that you do not deserve, and you turn from your sin. That means that if you're a Democrat, you can't vote for abortion. If you support a blue candidate, you cannot support a blue candidate and be a Christian, in my opinion. You can't. You can't. We are Caesar here. Do you understand that? We don't have the alibi that every other civilization had before 1776, which was you didn't have a say, right? You had to do what Caesar said or the dictator said. We are our own Caesars here in this country and in the free world today. Meaning we allow the laws that we want to exist.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, we are responsible.
Yeah.
More so than any other generation in history. And the pre-tribulation rapture, I'll get on this thing because I've been talking about it a lot lately with a lot of people, and a lot of people are upset at me. And I hope you're right. Again, I don't know this. It's just my gut feeling. When I look through every page of this Bible, God shows me consistently who he is.
Mm-hmm.
He's not this one-dimensional being. And there's only maybe 2 cases in here at best of people who had good lives, were taken up, and went to heaven. Mm. Everyone else suffered and had to prove themselves. So why would the most spoiled, coddled, most ungrateful, ungodly people ever, the people of today, avoid what's coming? Do I think we're going to, and this is where legalistically they're like, well, God's not going to pour his wrath out on the church. No, he's not going to pour his wrath out on the church.
Yeah.
Right? He's going to pour his wrath out on the unbelievers, but the world is going to destroy us. is going to persecute us like the Romans did with the Roman candles and the lions and everything else. And and the devil's gonna like God did with Job, right? Like God did with Job.
So is tribulation that, so there's the God coming down, there's like the period that's caused by God, that is like hellfire and damnation essentially on the judgment
Right.
on the
So
world.
to frame this quickly, just so I know we're getting me on here, it goes like this. And I'm going to generalize here, and maybe I'll get things wrong, and you guys can all yell at me, and it's all good. There's two thoughts. There's going to come a time when things are about to get really bad, and before they're bad,
God made bad.
Yeah, God made bad.
Yeah.
Right. So there's going to be tough times and all that stuff, but there is going to be, before things get bad, we're going to get evacuated. And then because all the believers left, the world's going to go completely to hell.
And
so then God's going to pour out his wrath on them.
So that's the pre-tribulation rapture.
Yes.
So could you have it in stages, that there's the world made bad?
You can have as many stages as you want,
that,
and nobody knows. There are Christians who believe that Revelations has already been fulfilled in many places.
Okay.
And there are other people who believe that. Joel's one of them.
Okay.
So, but you want to read Val's comment?
Sure. So Val says, it is the God that they are singing about, but you're right, there is much more to his love. Like, yes, being holy, obedient, making disciples, etc. Spiritual warfare is what is happening. Yes, turn and sin no more.
Yes. It is all void without holy. Sin can't be allowed in heaven. It's contagious.
Yeah, I think it's in that all of us must make the effort on a daily basis to sin less, be more like Jesus, and acknowledge and repent for any sin that we do stumble into.
Yeah, Ken, I believe, is pre-rapture, as is one of my pastors now. Joel is not. I am not.
So because I know, like we read last time, there's references in what Jesus was preparing his disciples, and what they thought was a lot more imminent than it actually turned out to be. Matthew talks about it, I think it was in Luke, about persecution, and you'll be hated, you will be killed, in my name, and anyone who endures will get to heaven. And I think so. The question is, is that talking about world-made persecution that you endure and get to heaven, or is that the God-made?
I don't think anyone knows, and
but that's the distinction, correct, between pre and post.
Pre and post is if God is going to pour. No, so it's depending. Is the church going to endure all the challenges of the tribulation or not?
Right.
Right.
So it's
either
what,
right.
What
so let me help you out here. Okay. All right. So see if I can summarize this for you. Either we're going to get mass evacuated before the tribulation. There's going to be 7 years of catastrophe and awfulness and all that stuff, right? Or we're going to have to last through that 7 years to prove ourselves, to hold until the end, like James said, and then we get mass evacuated. So yeah, Ken is pre, I believe, and so is Paul, who will be here. Joel will be here tomorrow, and then Paul next week, and we can talk more about this stuff.
Wednesday.
Wednesday. I'm sorry. And I don't think anyone knows, but here's the thing: it doesn't make you a bad Christian if you disagree on these things. Like, it doesn't, because it doesn't change your behavior.
Shouldn't.
Right? It shouldn't change your behavior, right? So there's sin in either way. You could either become apathetic and be a quitter and just disengage from society and say, well, it's all coming to the end anyways. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to fight to the end. I'm going to stop discipling. That's bad. And then there's the cold heart. It's every man for himself. Let's do this because tribulation's coming and we got to, whatever. You got to watch out for both. right? And it doesn't change the fact that we believe in Jesus Christ. We repent our sins, we turn from those sins, and we keep going.
Mhm.
And we make disciples of the Lord as long as we do that. And thank you for your comment, Val. The problem is that's all they sing about, Val. They only sing about one aspect of God. Just
Well,
one.
again, because there's really not all that many songs out there that
Yeah, they're all
that
the stuff
sing
I
the other
listen to.
parts.
It's all the screaming metal I listen to out there, Christian rock.
Yeah, I mean that's what the Bryson Grays and everything. They're starting to bring it in
Yeah,
a
and
little bit
the
more.
new
But
Christian rap.
that's
Yeah.
not that's certainly not worship at church music.
No, but the worship at church music is not for, right? So I'm not even talking about that. The worship at church music is just telling God and worshiping Him and saying how great He is because He's that great. That's true. I agree with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and that has its place.
It has its place.
Yes.
You're there on Sunday to celebrate how holy and awesome and amazing God is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But there you don't really hear Monday through Saturday, all the other stuff.
Right.
Which is the wrath of God, which Bryson Gray talks about, which other people talk about. So you guys hear about the big volcano erupting out in Canary Islands now. Part may crack off into the sea and create a tsunami that may hit Florida. Yeah, no, I haven't, and I don't. That would have to be a pretty massive, like, mountain to create a tsunami, wouldn't it? I mean,
You'd think, but I
like-
don't know how all of those forces would work.
yeah. I mean, I think it takes like a massive plate shift to create those tsunamis that you see in like over in Asia.
I'm not an expert. All I know is that they are wild and
Rare.
horrific.
Yeah. And Florida is a problem. I mean, New Orleans, half the island could crack, they say. Huh.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Don't know.
Is it an inhabited part? Like, I mean, I'd imagine that's obviously.
I saw like 100 houses or 100 structures went up in flames.
Yeah.
It was something I saw earlier today. Now that could have evolved to 10,000 by now. I don't know, but I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen very many headlines around it. 100,000 people affected, not 100,000 people dead, right?
Right, but so like if
they've been evacuating the
half
island.
of this island could crack into the sea, yeah, is that 100,000 people?
How big is the
that could
island?
be-
I don't know.
Hi, Gerald. Welcome.
Hey, Gerald. How's it going?
It's a confusing world. 2 brothers in Christ recently locally have died with virus. Fear reigns. I'm sorry for
Yeah, we
for their
lost a good brother of the show of this program as well, Chris Scott. His wife Danae watches the program a lot. We miss him, and I'm not one of those people who thinks it's all nothing. It's obviously killing people. Do I think way more things get it, like the flu probably is killing people and other things? And do I think they've distorted numbers and it's going to take us 100 years to figure this out? Yeah. But yeah, the East Coast. That's why I live in Tennessee, bro.
Pretty well protected here.
We got mountains around us and stuff. Just saying.
Any other?
And Bradley Pitt, welcome to the show.
Bradley Pitt. Hello, Bradley Pitt.
Well, we are in the mountains, brother. So come on down.
We're biblical.
Yep. Well, I mean, we got
no
3
wonder
mountains
God
in the
gave
back.
us his property. Yeah.
So
head to the mountain.
All right, with that, guys, I appreciate you hanging with us tonight. If you want to support us, you can do that in several ways. You can like and share this, please do, because we have haters out there who hate us because we are Christians who love our country, i.e., Patriot Crusaders. All right, that will fight for our beliefs and for our country. We do need a Crusader arc. We sure do. Unfortunately, I think that's a spaceship going to Mars with Elon Musk.
Yeah. Even he is trolling Biden now.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, our friendly troll has already struck.
Yes, so we already have our thumbs down. Our friendly troll
It's nice.
literally must live for this.
A thumbs up that matches with the people watching, so we appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, so liking and sharing is one option. You can, during the show, during the chat, you can hit the super chats and donate there. You can buy swag. Our shirts are in. The awesome Coyote and OD Green shirts that I'm wearing.
So we need to get those. So those are obviously
They're going to be up on the website.
Of those.
Yep.
So they are not through what is currently set up in the store, which goes to the Printful way that we've been doing this. So do not look for these on the website yet. If you are interested in one, you can holler at us and we can hook you up before we get that up and running.
Hopefully we sell out of them soon because we're bringing them to all of our fundraisers, and I think people are going to really.
Do you have a price on them yet?
I got to look at what we paid and then do that. Yeah. So, but they're awesome. They're super high quality. They're made in the USA. Not only are they made in the USA, they're made here in Tennessee. So we support local. Small country or small businesses, small people, personal relationships. That's what it's all about, guys.
Hi, Gloria. New names tonight. That's awesome.
Yeah. However you guys found us, thank you so much for joining the family. We really do appreciate it. So the last way you can do is go to Patreon, or you can go on, like I said, on our swag, take our women's self-defense course, take our active shooter course, take our church safety course, or come to our 2.5-day event, The Forging, which is October 8th, 9th, and 10th. It's basically a welcome party on Friday night and a fire. You're saying the Coyote don't look great? We the people. Come on, man. You want to go grab them and we'll hold them up. They're in that box right there. Sure. Just grab 2 of them. And then Saturday is a full day of training with a catered dinner, and then more party time around the fire. And then we get up and it's another 8 hours of instruction, all biblically based, turning your house into a fortress of light on Sunday. And then another fire if you want, or you can go home and enjoy your Columbus Day off on Monday.
Here, you do the front.
Right, and of course, all my shirts are 4-sided. They all have the American flag. They all have the logo on all sides.
For those of you who haven't seen the back, you haven't been to the website store to see it, it's the same saying as the shirts that we have available right now through Printful. I am a warrior for Christ, a defender of my country, a protector of the weak. I am a Patriot Crusader. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they should be called the sons of God.
Yep, and the company that we bought them from is Volunteer Knitwear, made in the USA. Volunteer, obviously the Tennessee state. Video feed is still, I think that's on you guys. We're still looking good.
It's like catching a little bit on YouTube. I don't know if anyone else on YouTube is experiencing that too.
It might have froze up because the green on the green screen. But, so those are the ways you can support us. We are a 501c3. We are setting up an account so that you guys can just make regular donations. Again, just liking, sharing, and watching is amazing.
Word of
mouth. We are getting YouTube, Facebook, Instagram kills our reach. We're shadow banned because we are Christians who love our country, because we are literally called Patriot, right? That means we're domestic terrorists now. Crusader. Now we're religious extremist terrorists, and
horrible people.
Horrible people. So they crush everything. So only word of mouth is what works. But we are growing. We've grown, I think, almost 60 subs this month, which is a lot for us. We've been doing the slow grind. We're not an overnight success. We're one relationship at a time. And for everybody who's new here, Gloria, and the other Bradley and all those, we invest in our people. Like, people come through town. We are actively trying to get people to move here to Tennessee and Johnson City, Tennessee. We're going all in on the Tri-Cities area. to create a model that people can copy to help turn their areas red.
Mm-hmm.
So we are actively recruiting Christian conservatives to move to our area, and we will do everything we can to help you. You can come stay at our house if we have room. We've had multiple people come through here. We've had, it's been amazing. It's been amazing.
I have a shaved head. I'm used to getting called names.
Where'd that come from? The names part.
That we're Patriot, Crusader. We're horrible.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I'll tell you what, I get stopped by so many people here in Tennessee when I'm out with the truck or I'm wearing my gear, and they're like, "That shirt is awesome." And people are starting to feel our impact already. Now, once we get more people here and the nonprofit's up and running, we start changing lives. We start helping widows and, and orphan kids and, at-risk youth, and just showing up and doing the right thing, guys, right? That's what we got to do. Stop sending our missionaries overseas and go across the street.
Yes.
You can have more of an impact and lead for the rest of your life on a daily basis. Don't go somewhere and pretend to be somebody and then come back and then change your identity. No, be that person every day. Be a light in the darkness.
What sizes do we get? Got a couple.
I asked for everything from small up.
You did get some small.
Yeah, I got some small because we have so many amazing ladies that follow us.
We do. And you said, so we have half right now?
There's 60 in there, and we got another, I think, 40.
Still in production?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he messed up a bunch.
Oh, no.
Yeah, poor dude. Poor Troy.
All right. So, yeah, we can, we'll take inventory of what was dropped off tonight and start pushing that information out. So, yeah. Mary Jo, if you want to let us know what size you would want and which color, we can let you know if we have
PCM family, we will hold them for you. We know you guys are good for it. So if you're interested, let us know, and we will 100%
we'll put out
save
all the
one
sizes
for you.
And the costs ASAP.
So again, thank you so much. We love you. We'll be back Wednesday for Biblical Life Support. It'll be me and Pastor Joel Kavanaugh this week. And then on Friday, Lauren will be back, and we'll be doing Strength and Honor Fridays at 9 p.m. All right. So God bless you. We love you. And we'll see you on Wednesday.
Good night.